and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, by this sign of the Holy Cross of our Lord.
Interesting facts about famous people.
10 of my personal favourite non-Western movies. I've been talking with a friend recently about favourite movies. I just went through the exercise of listing 10 of my favourite non-Western movies outside the Hollywood classic era. Not as easy as you might think. I will follow up with a list that came close to making the top 10. As my usual viewers will know, I hate rating movies, so these are in no particular order. Trust me, I could put so many more. If you enjoy this video, take a peek at my channel for more. The link's in the description. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to share with your friends. The more the merrier. Shawshank Redemption, 1994, chronicles the experiences of a formerly successful banker as a prisoner in the gloomy jailhouse of Shawshank, after being found guilty of a crime he did not commit. The film portrays the man's unique way of dealing with his new, torturous life. Along the way, he befriends a number of fellow prisoners, most notably a wise long-term inmate named Red. Morgan Freeman's favourite film of his own. Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, Paul Newman, Gene Hackman, Robert Redford and Robert Duvall were considered for the part of Red, Morgan Freeman's part. In the original novel, Red is a middle-aged white Irishman with greying red hair.
That just wasn't normal
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975. McMurphy has a criminal past and has once again gotten himself into trouble and is sentenced by the court. To escape labour duties in prison, McMurphy pleads insanity and is sent to a ward for the mentally unstable. Once here, McMurphy both endures and stands witness to the abuse and degradation of the oppressive Nurse Ratched, who gains superiority and power through the flaws of the other inmates. McMurphy and the other inmates band together to make a rebellious stance against the atrocious nurse. Jack Nicholson took a percentage of the profits in lieu of a small salary for a modestly budgeted film. The move paid off when the picture went on to gross well over $120 million. A personal note, in the 80s, while studying acting, I played Dale Harding on stage in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The Exorcist, 1973. A visiting actress in Washington, D.C. noticed dramatic and dangerous changes in the behaviour and physical makeup of her 12-year-old daughter. Meanwhile, a young priest at nearby Georgetown University begins to doubt his faith while dealing with his mother's terminal sickness. And bookending the story, a frail, elderly priest recognises the necessity for a showdown with an old, demonic enemy. Due to death threats against Linda Blair from religious zealots who believed the film glorified Satan, Warner Brothers had bodyguards protecting her for 6 months after the film's release. When I was young, I watched this film at home alone at night for the first time. Let's say it left an impression. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962. Due to his knowledge of the native Bedouin tribes, British Lieutenant T.E. Lawrence is sent to Arabia to find Prince Faisal and serve as a liaison between the Arabs and the British for their fight against the Turks. With the aid of native Sharif Ali, Lawrence rebels against the orders of his superior officer and strikes out on a daring camel journey across the harsh desert to attack a well-guarded Turkish port. On his first location scouting trip in Jordan, director Sir David Lean discovered the remains of the Turkish locomotives and railroad tracks T.E. Lawrence had destroyed during the Arab Revolution. After 40 years in the sun, they hadn't even rusted. Cool Hand Luke, 1967. Luke Jackson is a cool, gutsy prisoner in a southern chain gang who, while refusing to buckle under to authority, keeps escaping and being recaptured. The prisoners admire Luke because, as Dragline explains it, you're an original. That's what you are. Nevertheless, the camp staff actively work to crush Luke until he finally breaks. 200 hard-boiled eggs were provided for one of the film's most famous sequences. Due to clever editing, Paul Newman only ate about 8 altogether. The rest were consumed by the cast and crew, which led to extreme cases of flatulence the next day. One of the most famous quotes in movie history, from Captain, "What we've got here is failure to communicate."
Failure to communicate.
Big Fish, 2003. Steven Spielberg was attached to this project and wanted Jack Nicholson to star, but dropped out due to his full schedule, soon after which Tim Burton signed on to direct. Ewan McGregor was cast as young Ed Bloom when producers noticed the striking similarities between him and pictures of a young Albert Finney, who plays senior Ed Bloom. The joke with the elephant defecating while Edward daydreams was unscripted. The film crew found it hilarious and quickly zoomed out to get the whole thing. Deliverance, 1972. This is the movie Burt Reynolds appeared in as opposed to The Godfather, 1972. He was being considered for the part of Michael Corleone, but Brando said that, "If Burt Reynolds is in my movie, I will quit." Dueling Banjos was the first scene shot. The rest of the movie was almost entirely shot in sequence. To minimise costs, the production wasn't insured, and the actors did their own stunts. John Voight climbed the cliff. To save costs and add to realism, local residents were cast in the roles of the Hill People. Following the film, tourism increased Rabun County by the tens of thousands. By 2012, tourism was the largest source of revenue in the county. Princess Bride, 1987. An elderly man reads the book, The Princess Bride, to his sick and thus currently bedridden adolescent grandson. The reading of the book, which has been passed down within the family for generations. The grandson is sure he won't like the story, with a romance at its core. He prefers something with lots of action and no kissing, but he lets grandfather continue, because he doesn't want to hurt his feelings. Robin Wright and Carrie Ells were smitten with each other during filming, naturally helping their chemistry in the movie. Ells said that he couldn't concentrate on much of anything after that first encounter with Robin. When Count Rugen hits Wesley over the head, Carrie Ells told Christopher Guest to go ahead and hit him for real. Guest hit Ells hard enough to knock him unconscious, lacerating the top of his head. Production was shut down for the day while Ells went to the hospital. Gallipoli, 1981. Director Peter Weir was inspired to make the film after visiting a World War I battle site. Originally, he and screenwriter David Williamson planned to encompass the entire Gallipoli campaign from all sides, but instead opted to focus on one small group of characters who would be able to humanise the whole tragedy. The story of a group of young Australian men who leave their various backgrounds behind and sign up to join the Anzacs in World War I. They are sent to Gallipoli, where they encounter the resolute Turkish army. Producers advertised for 400 skilled male horse riders for the movie, but only 200 turned up for shooting. The other 200 horse riders in the movie were women dressed to look like men. Goodfellas, 1990. According to Henry Hill, whose life was the basis for the book and film, Joe Pesci's portrayal of Tommy DeSimone was 90 to 99% accurate, with one notable exception. The real Tommy DeSimone was massively built. According to Nicholas Pileggi, some mobsters were hired as extras to lend authenticity to the scenes. The mobsters gave Warner Brothers fake social security numbers, and no one knows how they received their paychecks. Martin Scorsese first got wind of Nicholas Pileggi's book Wise Guy when he was handed the gallery proofs. Although Scorsese had sworn off making another gangster movie, he immediately cold-called the writer and told him, "I've been waiting for this book my entire life." Pileggi replied, "I've been waiting for this phone call my entire life." Hello to any new viewers on my channel. Thanks for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Don't forget to hit the notification button to get my new videos. Share with your friends. Drop me your comments. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.